giggled on the side watching them break out into their first fight as newlyweds. Things only got worse when my mother pulled Elaine aside and gushed about Rodney, asking, "Why didn't you tell me your sister was dating someone so successful?" And during the first dance, nobody paid attention to the bride and groom. Everyone's eyes were on Rodney as he danced with me. Elaine finally snapped and cornered me in the bathroom. "All right, Spill. Where did you find this actor? This isn't the real Rodney." But when I tried to explain that it really was crybaby Rodney, she refused to listen and just dragged me back to the reception. She asked the DJ to stop and place the spotlight on us. "Everyone's curious. What's your little love story?" She expected me to admit this was all just a setup, a ruse. But Rodney stepped in and took the microphone. She called me out of the blue. I was honestly shocked, because I'd been wanting to date her since we were kids. I just never had the courage. "But this wedding finally gave me the chance," he said, looking straight at me. I felt my heart race as the entire room erupted in awes. Elaine couldn't do anything but laugh in disbelief that her evil plan turned her into the greatest matchmaker. But the real shock came the next morning. Elaine sent me a photo, a yearbook picture of Rodney from his high school. The person in the photo was completely different from the man who'd been my date. Completely different face, different height. "Interesting date choice," she texted. "Wonder what happened to the actual Rodney." I turned to look at the man still sleeping in my bed. "If you're not Rodney, who are you? And what happened to Rodney?" He gave me this evil smirk. My whole body went cold staring at that smirk. My phone kept buzzing on the nightstand, but I couldn't look away from his face. This man in my bed wasn't Rodney. He never was. My hands started shaking as I grabbed my phone and saw 3 texts from Elaine with a yearbook photo attached. The kid in that photo looked nothing like the guy sitting up in my sheets right now. I forced my voice to stay steady even though my heart was pounding, so hard I could hear it in my ears. "Who are you? What's your real name?" He stretched like this was a normal morning and gave me this calm smile that made my skin crawl. "My name's Carson. I figured you'd realize sooner, honestly." He said it so casually like we were talking about the weather. I stared at him waiting for more of an explanation. He sat up against my headboard looking completely comfortable. "I knew Rodney when we were kids. Thought it would be poetic justice to show up as him at your sister's wedding after how she treated us back then." His explanation sounded practiced like he'd rehearsed it. But something felt off about the whole thing. My brain kept screaming at me to get him out of my apartment right now. I pulled the blanket tighter around myself and stood up. "You need to leave. Right now." My voice came out firmer than I expected, but my hands were still shaking. Carson didn't move fast. He took his time getting out of bed and finding his clothes from last night. The whole time he kept talking about how real our connection felt, and how I was overreacting to something that didn't really matter. He pulled on his shirt slowly like he had all the time in the world. "We had fun, right? Does it really matter what name I used?" I wanted to scream at him, but I just pointed at my door. "Get out. Now." He finally left, but not before giving me this look like I was being unreasonable. The second my door closed, I locked it and checked it twice. Then I grabbed my phone and called Maya because I needed someone to tell me I wasn't crazy for feeling scared and violated right now. She picked up on the second ring and I barely got the words out before I started crying. She told me to stay put and she'd be there in 20 minutes. I sat on my couch staring at my door until I heard her knock. Maya came in with 2 coffees and her